Formula One fans, Lewis Hamilton has finally broken his silence. And his response is brutal, devastating, absolutely perfect. After the shocking criticism from Ferrari president John Elkann, after days of unbearable tension, Hamilton has responded with a message that made the entire paddock tremble. But what exactly did he say? How did he react to the accusations? And most importantly, what does this mean for Ferrari's future? Stay with us because what's coming is simply incredible. Just hours after Elkann told journalists that Ferrari's drivers needed to talk less and concentrate on driving, Hamilton responded with a message that spoke louder than any press conference ever could. I support my team. I support myself. I won't give up. Not now, not then, never. This wasn't an emotional outburst. This was a masterclass in composure, pride, and defiance from a 7-time world champion who's heard everything before. What makes Hamilton's words so incredibly powerful is the timing. Tension inside Maranello had reached boiling point since the double retirement in Brazil, where both Hamilton and Leclerc were forced out, leaving Ferrari empty-handed and falling even further behind Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Then came Elkann's shocking comments that seemed to place blame directly on the drivers. The message was crystal clear. Mechanics and engineers were doing their jobs, but the rest wasn't up to standard. Everyone in the paddock understood exactly what this meant, but instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, Hamilton responded with pure class. A calm, confident declaration that re-established who he is and what he represents. For Hamilton, this was never about trading words with his boss. This was about reminding everyone of his purpose. He didn't join Ferrari to play politics, he joined to help rebuild one of motorsport history's most iconic teams. His words, brief but loaded with meaning, show he refuses to be distracted by controversy or newspaper headlines. Instead, he's doubling down on unity, determination, and confidence, the very values Ferrari claims to need. In this sense, Hamilton's response wasn't just a reaction, it was a leadership statement. After a weekend where Ferrari collapsed under pressure, Hamilton's message reignited the conversation about what the team truly needs to move forward. Is it silence or strength that's required? His post suggests he believes in the latter. It's a line drawn in the sand, delivered not with anger but with conviction. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, champions lead by example. Hamilton's declaration sent shockwaves through the Formula One world. Not because it was loud, but because it was deliberate. After days of silence following the Ferrari president's stinging comments, Hamilton finally responded, and he did so in the most powerful way possible. With quiet confidence, his post wasn't simply a reaction to criticism, it was a statement of intent, a reminder of who he is, and a message to everyone watching that Lewis Hamilton doesn't break under pressure. Coming from a driver who's faced every imaginable storm in his career, this was a declaration that carried far more weight than any public argument could have. Elkann's comments had landed like a bomb inside Ferrari. The day after the Brazilian double retirement disaster, where both Ferraris failed to finish and Mercedes leapfrogged them in the standings, Ferrari's president made his frustrations public. He praised the mechanics and engineers for their performance, but then sharply turned the spotlight onto the drivers, saying the rest wasn't up to standard. Drivers need to speak less and concentrate more on driving. It was a rare and very public rebuke. Although he never named names, there was little doubt who the message targeted. Hamilton, whose first year with Ferrari has been filled with frustration, and Leclerc, who's grown quietly impatient with the team's inconsistency. Elkann's comments might have been intended as motivation, but they risked dividing the very people who must work in harmony. By flipping that narrative, instead of letting himself become the villain of the story, Hamilton brought the spotlight back to resilience, perseverance, and confidence. The traits that built his 7 world championships were a subtle reminder to Ferrari's hierarchy that leadership isn't about blame. It's about direction. Behind the scenes, there's been growing discomfort regarding the tone from above. Some within Ferrari's camp privately admit Elkann's remarks were poorly timed, especially when morale was already low after such a crushing result in Brazil. The team had gone from celebrating their Endurance Division's world title in Bahrain to watching their Formula One campaign fall apart within 24 hours. For Hamilton, who spent the season adapting to a complex car, enduring penalties and fighting through chaos, being told to talk less felt like a dismissal of his effort. His post, therefore, wasn't just defense, it was a declaration of dignity. The fascinating part is Hamilton's message wasn't only for Ferrari's president, it was for the fans, the paddock, and everyone who's doubted his decision to join the Scuderia. His phrase, "I won't give up," wasn't just about one bad race, it was about his legacy. He's faced far bigger challenges before, from losing world titles to defending justice, and every time he's come back stronger. Seeing him now push through a season of pain and pressure reminds everyone that his greatness doesn't fade when the car isn't perfect. It shines brightest. Charles Leclerc's reaction only amplified the moment. While Hamilton responded with defiant pride, Leclerc took a diplomatic route, urging unity and teamwork. "Only together can we turn this around," he said. The two posts taken together painted a fascinating picture of Ferrari's dynamic one driver, speaking from the heart with quiet fire, the other trying to hold the structure together with professional calm. The balance Ferrari desperately needs, but one that feels fragile under the weight of expectations and internal politics inside Maranello, the fallout continues. Reports suggest Elkann's words were intended to strengthen Fred Vasseur's leadership and send a message about discipline heading into the final races. But instead, the spotlight shifted toward tension between Ferrari management and their highest-profile driver. Many fans see Hamilton's response as a defining moment, a sign he won't be intimidated by corporate statements or shifted blame. If anything, his message strengthened his bond with the Tifosi, who flooded social media with support, praising his professionalism and refusal to hide behind excuses. The irony of all this is almost poetic. The president who told his drivers to speak less ended up triggering one of the biggest discussions Ferrari has faced all season. Hamilton's measured words became a rallying cry, while Elkann's comments exposed cracks in Ferrari's internal communication. What started as a simple post-race comment evolved into a debate about leadership, respect, and accountability within one of Formula One's most iconic teams. Hamilton's brutal yet composed response set the tone for what's coming. He's made clear he won't be silenced, won't be divided from his team, and won't stop fighting Ferrari's president might have lit the fuse. But it's Hamilton's resilience that's transformed the fire into fuel. Whether this moment generates unity or deepens division remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Hamilton's declaration has changed the conversation. This isn't just about Brazil, it's about what kind of Ferrari he'll help build. And it's about whether he'll lead this revolution, or whether pressure from above will break even the greatest champion. The coming races will reveal everything. Will Ferrari's leadership recognize that public criticism damages rather than motivates? Will Hamilton's quiet defiance inspire the team to rally behind him? Will Leclerc's diplomatic approach find middle ground between management expectations and driver reality? What we're witnessing isn't just a bad season, it's a fundamental test of Ferrari's culture. Can this legendary team embrace the modern approach that champions like Hamilton bring? Or will it remain trapped in outdated hierarchies that prioritize silence over honest communication? Hamilton's message suggests he believes Ferrari can evolve, can become the team he envisioned when making his shocking move from Mercedes. But that evolution requires leadership willing to listen, not just demand obedience. It requires recognizing that 7-time world champions don't need to be told how to do their jobs. The Brazilian Grand Prix aftermath has become more than just another disappointing result. It's become a referendum on Ferrari's direction, on whether this partnership can survive the pressures of expectation, tradition, and the brutal honesty. Modern Formula One demands Hamilton's brutal declaration wasn't just a response to Elkann's criticism, it was a statement that he's not just another Ferrari driver passing through. He's here to transform this team, to bring championship-winning mentality back to Maranello, but he'll do it his way, with his voice on his terms. The question now isn't whether Hamilton will stay quiet. The question is whether Ferrari's leadership is ready to embrace what he truly brings. Not just driving talent, but the championship mindset that demands excellence from everyone, including those at the very top.